Hello, I'm Doug Kide. This is Zach Cox. This is the football word for this week. I don't know what day it is. The 3rd, 4th, something like that?
Monday, April 3rd.
Monday, April 3rd. That sounds about right. Some kind of strange news came out yesterday, something that was a little bit unexpected. Adrian Peterson is reportedly visiting the Patriots today. I think that after the Patriots signed Rex Burkhead to a 1-year, $3.15 million contract, I kind of figured that they were done signing free agent running backs. I certainly didn't expect them to bring in another big back like Adrian Peterson, but here we are. I guess what's your initial take here, and what's the takeaway here for you?
Well, the fact that they brought Peterson in isn't incredibly surprising to me, but I thought that if they were going to bring him in, they would have done so a month ago, right when free agency opened, because there were kind of murmurs that there might be some mutual interest between the two sides before free agency opened last month. But yeah, now after they added Rex Burkhead, they still have they're paying him to be their starting running back this season, to be their number one back. He's going to make $3.15 million, more than any Patriots running back since 2010. Yeah. And they already have James White, they already have Dion Lewis back there for the kind of the sub back packages, and we all think that they're going to add another running back in some form or fashion. But I think we all kind of think it's going to be either through the draft or through a young guy that they can have under control for the foreseeable future, not just one season. I can't see any team signing Adrian Peterson to more than a 1-year deal. Yeah,
and that's the kind of weird thing, is that Burkhead is only signed for 1 year. So, like you said, you would figure that they would draft someone, kind of groom him for the future in case Burkhead leaves after that 1-year contract's up. But just as you said again, Adrian Peterson, you're probably not signing him to a long-term deal. What is he, 32, 33 years old? He's getting up there in age. So
the fact that
you certainly don't want to sign
really
him.
Bad this past year. I mean, he was hurt for most of the year. But even when he was not hurt, I think I read your piece this morning. What was he, like 300th in the league in yards per carry?
Yeah.
Obviously small sample size, but still, it was 1.9 yards per carry. I think it was. Yeah. I think everybody's first reaction when they heard about the Patriots were hosting Adrian Peterson was the child abuse stuff from a couple years ago. That's really kind of his legacy now. Unfortunately for him, I mean, he's one of the best running backs of the last 20 years, maybe one of the best running backs of all time. Yeah. But that's the first thing that comes to mind when everybody thinks about him. But I think that, I don't know, when I think of him, he's not the running back that he once was. I mean, maybe obviously the Patriots are good at minimizing either minimizing off-field drama for players that they do have and staying away from players that do have that kind of off-field baggage. I just don't think he's worth it. I mean, for the PR disaster that you're going to get for bringing in a guy like that, for a guy who's old, who's clearly past his prime.
It makes them look hypocritical, too, because the report came out that they're not even going to consider drafting Joe Mixon. Mixon obviously hit a woman that was on video. Adrian Peterson, allegedly, I guess it's not allegedly, abused his child, which, I mean, I guess if you're weighing those things, I'm certainly not going to get into that. But they seem like they're pretty close as far as, what's worse. I mean, I would say that I'm not surprised that it's happening now rather than earlier, actually, just because I'm sure that his price tag has dropped quite a bit. I think that this free agent experience is probably very humbling for him.
Because I think really next to no interest.
Other than the Seahawks. Yeah. I think that when he came into free agency, he was probably expecting to make, $7 million, or at least have those deals on the table. Yeah. It seems like nothing's really even been on the table for him. So maybe this is a way for him to drum up some interest. I think that's one thing to kind of consider. I actually wrote in our outline here, is it possible the Patriots are doing a favor for Adrian Peterson? I saw this morning on Twitter that Tommy Curran was on Pro Football Talk Radio, and he said something similar, that this kind of screams of the Patriots possibly doing a favor for Peterson, maybe getting his name out there.
Why would they do a favor for Adrian Peterson, though?
That's the thing that I'm not. That's something I'm not too sure of either. Just because
it's not like a player that they've had in the past or a guy they have a close relationship with.
I don't know. His agent doesn't have a lot of clients either, so maybe it's a relationship there. Maybe it's some past relationship with Peterson. Maybe they just feel bad for the guy. I don't know what it is, but I would still be surprised if they signed him at this point, just because he's pretty one-faceted. He's not a versatile back. He's not like Burkhead, who can do a number of different things. Burkhead can play on special teams. Even guys like James White and Dion Lewis are a little bit more versatile than Adrian Peterson, who basically you just have to go under center and hand the ball off to him. Otherwise, he's not very effective. Not a great pass blocker, not great in shotgun, not great in any other kind of formation. But I don't know. So that's what, and he fumbles a decent amount too to throw it on top of everything else.
Do not like.
No. Some other let's just talk about some other backs that are out there, I guess, while we're on Peterson.
Sure.
Jamal Charles is out there. LeGarrette Blount is out there. It seems like both of those guys would be better fits for the Patriots, right?
I agree. I mean, LeGarrette Blount obviously works in this offense as he has for the last 3 or 4 seasons. Yeah. I still think he has a great deal left in the tank. He is an older guy. I'm kind of surprised that he's still on the market, honestly. I mean, it hasn't been the greatest market for running backs this offseason, but especially coming off the season that he had. I mean, he's only 30, right? I think he's only 30. He had the best season of his career, had 18 touchdown rushes. And I don't know. I think the most likely scenario is still him coming back to New England, because I think if he was going to get a bigger deal elsewhere, he would have gotten it by now. Jamal Charles, I think, is intriguing. He's been hurt the last couple of years. He's kind of sort of similar to Peterson, where his stock has really just plummeted, where from being one of the premier backs in the league to kind of now a guy who's been a free agent for a month and can't find a new job. I definitely see him fitting in more with the Patriots than Adrian Peterson would, because he is much more versatile, can catch passes out of the backfield, that kind of thing. But I don't know, of that trio, I think they'd still be best off bringing back Blount, because then you can pair him with Rex Burkhead, with Lewis, with White, and then if you have those 4 guys, if you can evenly kind of split up the carries and catches, I think that they can make that work. Then
you don't make LeGarrette Blount wear down like you did last season as well. Blount and Charles don't come with the baggage that Peterson does, so this could be another ploy, actually, if you're looking too deep into this, going too far down the rabbit hole. Maybe they're pushing Blount to re-sign by bringing in Peterson. Maybe they're putting some pressure on him. Other big thing that happened yesterday, Rob Gronkowski finally made his WWE debut. He's been in the crowd for years now because he's got a buddy named Mojo Rawley in the WWE. He used to play with Gronkowski's brother at Maryland. They've known each other for years. Rob Gronkowski's father actually helped Mojo Rawley get into WWE because Rob Gronkowski's father played football at Syracuse with the old 90s wrestler IRS, who was actually the father of Bray Wyatt and Bo Dallas. Interesting fact for you guys there. So it's kind of surprising that Gronkowski did this, because he had back surgery. He ended the season on injured reserve, and now he's in there throwing around Jinder Mahal on WrestleMania 33. It's a little bit shocking, honestly. But apparently he got the approval of the Patriots.
It's not shocking that he would want to do this. I mean, it's only a matter of time. The WWE is made for the Gronkowski family. I can see all of them just being kind of a... What do you call? I mean, like you're the WWE expert.
Stable.
What do you call like a tag? Not a tag team, but like a big.
Stable.
Stable. There we go. I can see a Gronkowski stable in WWE. I am kind of surprised that the Patriots let him do this, even though, because I feel like Gronkowski. We were just talking about this earlier. He's a guy that's just gonna get so fired up and not follow the rules. They're gonna be like, all right, Rob, come out here, give him a couple kicks, maybe throw him into the ropes once, and then kind of slink away. You saw him; he was down in the 3-point stance. He was raring to go. He was like a bull there. I thought he was gonna fly right out of the ring. If I was watching that being Bill Belichick and Nick Caserio, I'd just been watching it like this with between my hands, because he's Gronkowski's passion, especially in an environment like that. The Patriots have to be very glad that he didn't injure himself, but he was hilarious, though.
You also might have to actually tell him beforehand, like, Rob, you know this is fake, right? You know that you don't actually beat him up.
I think he found out wrestling was fake like 5 minutes before he went on last night. I think he was like, yo, I'm actually going to get to hit you. No, Rob, no, just don't hurt him, please.
The one funny thing was that when he first hopped over the barrier, because he was in the front row, there's a special section at WrestleMania where they put celebrities. So Jimmy Fallon was sitting there at some point, and they kind of filter these guys down. They're not sitting there the whole time. So Gronkowski jumped over the barrier, and some security guard actually stopped him for a second, because I don't think, and you can't just let out type of information like Rob Gronkowski's going to participate in WrestleMania to everyone out there, so it's certainly possible that security guard seriously didn't know. Then someone had to come over and tap her and be like, no, it's okay. He's going to jump in the ring. He's part of the show. It's Rob Gronkowski. He's on the Patriots. So I don't know. I thought it was hilarious. I can certainly understand why my Twitter feed was blowing up with Patriots fans saying, why is this happening? Get him out of the ring. The guy can't stay healthy on a football field. We don't need him in a wrestling ring as well. And I will say that we obviously know that wrestling is fake, but serious injuries do occur in the ring. I mean, Seth Rollins tore his MCL or something recently. He only just got back for WrestleMania. John Cena gets hurt all the time. These guys, shoulder injuries, knees.
It's fake as in, the outcomes are predetermined, but they're still doing some crazy athletic stuff. I mean, even if it's not quite as death-defying as it was back in the 90s and early 2000s, they're still throwing guys around.
Oh yeah,
I think it was lucky that
serious.
It seemed like I only saw the short clip. I didn't get the whole pay-per-view, but it seemed like Gronk was in there for a pretty brief period.
Definitely.
Didn't do anything too crazy, but
yeah, gave Jinder Mahal kind of a shoulder block, then kicked him a couple times, and then got hyped up with his bro Mojo Rawley. So it was fun. It was kind of my worlds colliding as I was watching with my friends. They were like, "Oh, are you going to write about this?" I was like, "No, I'm with you guys, but someone will write about it, and I'll probably write about it tomorrow." So I did. And that's that. And that's the football word for today. A little bit of an abbreviated episode, but quite honestly, there's not a whole lot going on. We're spending 5 minutes talking about Rob Gronkowski on WrestleMania, so we will be back Thursday with
However,
the tackles. Yes.
the Patriots just announced their off-season workout schedule, so OTAs have been set, minicamp has been set. We still don't know when training camp will be, but it's usually late July. You can check that full schedule on Nesson.com. The Patriots will be reconvening on Patriots Day, coincidentally. So 2 weeks from today, they will be back in Foxborough to begin their off-season conditioning stuff. We won't get to see them actually for another month. But so football's starting up already.
Yeah, it'll be fun. It's gonna be great. Minicamp, OTAs, those are fun. So we will be back at it, and we will be back at it Thursday with Michaela Vernava sitting somewhere on this table with us for Between the Tackles. So watch that too.